Today, we're going to talk through a pretty big update from eBay regarding shill bidding on their platform that I think you guys might not know about. It seems to have gone under the radar, and it is something that they're currently trialing when it comes to immediate payments on auctions on their platform. This is, a pretty big deal in my opinion. It's something that could, drastically change how cards are actually sold on their platform. I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below, because it's something that could stop shill bidding, and also at the same time something that could actually negatively impact the prices of cards, i.e. push the prices of cards down, which is, good for people that want to chase their PCs, but, curious to see what that's actually going to do to the liquidity of the hobby and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I want to talk through today. As always, you can share your thoughts down below and we'll get, straight into it. Now, like I said, it relates to immediate payments on auctions. This is an update from eBay. It's basically saying new to auctions, provide a payment method before you bid. If you win, we'll process your order 1 hour after the auction ends. Now, this is not a full rollout. This is something that they're currently actively, trialing with a few users in the US, but it's something that they'll look to send out, quick smart, in my opinion. They've basically done something similar in the past, and we spoke about this last year when it came to best offers. What they were sort of trialing at the time, if the seller decided to turn it on for their auction, basically you send a best offer, and then you need to confirm, your payment method. And then if the seller accepts it, you need to pay immediately. This is basically, working the same way, except there's a 1 hour window. I'm not sure what that 1 hour window is for, maybe to combine, listings or something along those lines. But it's one that if it works, it could stop shill bidding pretty quick smart as well. And you guys would have bought cards that have had shill bids put on them before. You guys would have seen, countless auctions that, have shill bidders win and then they get relisted and all this kind of stuff. If you're going to force an immediate payment, is that going to stop the shill bidding? I think it probably will, but I don't think it's going to get rid of it completely, because who's to say somebody can't just, still use a fake account with a genuine payment method and then just cancel it after winning the auction. And a few people raise some good points around, well, if it's going to eBay's authenticity guarantee, i.e. it's an expensive card, you can't cancel it until it actually goes to authenticity guarantee. So that sort of controls that aspect of it, but it's one to sort of watch, right? Like, how strong is this actually going to be to stop shill bidding? And I think it will do some work, but whether it's going to be enough, who's to say? But I think it's a really good thing. Now, I mentioned the sort of all best offer thing, earlier, and one of the things that people sort of pushed back on when that news dropped was the fact that people sometimes want to buy a card, a PC card that shows up, but they actually don't get paid for a few days, or they might want to sell a card before they can actually pay for your card. And obviously, eBay gives you those payment terms. You've probably won a card before and you've probably said to the person, oh, I want to pay in a few days' time. With that new approach when it comes to all best offers, and now with this new auction approach, that's not really possible, right? Because as soon as it's accepted, or as soon as it's, won, but basically the money's gone. And if you don't have enough money in your account, then I'm guessing the sort of listing gets cancelled and it gets relisted. So if you're somebody that's chasing PC cards and need to have that longer payment term, I don't know what this does for you. And I think it's obviously going to impact a lot of people, but I sort of see it as one of those things that's the lesser of two evils. You've basically got something that can push shill bidders away from the platform. I'm going to go for that every time. And yes, it does suck for people that need the longer payment terms and all that kind of stuff. Or yes, it does suck because it might make things more convoluted for sellers to combine postage and all that kind of thing. But I think if that's what we have to deal with to try and get rid of shill bidding, I'm sort of all for that. Now, like I alluded to a little bit earlier, whether or not it stops shill bidding or not is another question, but I think this is a really, good step in the right direction. Now, I should quickly mention, Neo Cards and Comics shared this on his Twitter. I saw it. I haven't seen his video today. I know he released one. I did ask the question to Sports Card Radio in their live stream yesterday, and Colin basically has the same mindset as me. He sort of said, well, if it does work and it pushes people away and does push card prices down, so be it. And for the same reasons I said, I'm all for that. You get rid of shill bidding off the platform, that's a win. And if it means people leave because the payment terms are now screwed up or they can't get as much money for their cards, so be it. And on that price of cards perspective, I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say down below, because if all of a sudden, you've got shill bidding gone, and we know shill bidding is incredibly pervasive on eBay, and, 9 times out of 10 for every card you buy, it's probably been shill bid when it comes to auctions. What's going to happen? Let's say all the shill bidders go overnight and it does work perfectly. Is that going to drastically push prices down? Is that going to mean that you can no longer get maximum value for your listings on eBay, and that means people leave and list their cards elsewhere? For the same reasons that Colin alluded to earlier, so be it, in my opinion. And at the same sort of time, I don't think we're ever going to see people leave eBay en masse because it's too good. It connects you to too many people all around the world, and it does a far better job than some of these more specific auction houses and all that kind of stuff. So again, if you are concerned that people are going to dip and go to one of these auction houses, I'd be shocked if that happens. And if it does happen, again, I'm all for it because I want eBay to be as strong, as possible. There's probably a few points I've missed when it comes to talking through this that I want to hear what you guys have to say down below on that as well. But I just thought I wanted to give you this update because, again, it's something that's not completely rolled out yet. I don't think there's a definitive time frame on when it's going to happen. Maybe Neo spoke about that in his video, but I thought this was just a good one to talk to because, like I said, you guys probably don't know about it, and it is coming. And if you are, somebody in the past that's concerned about, selling stuff on eBay because of shill bidding, maybe this news is going to mean that you're going to start listing more cards on eBay again, because I've had a number of people in the past, especially when that news came out about the immediate payment on best offers, that they sort of were saying, well, they're leaving eBay because, or they've stopped listing as many cards on eBay because so many false best offers come through and all that kind of thing. I had some the other day where I sold one of my flawless soccer cards. I'm trying to, consolidate down and trying to buy a bigger card. And a guy basically, sent me an offer, paid for it. And then, 2 days later, basically said he doesn't want it anymore. And the reason being, he didn't realize that the postage charge was as high as it should be. And that's sort of another point that I want to quickly talk to, because it was obviously frustrating to go through that situation, but I'm curious to see what eBay is going to do in this instance. Are they going to ask you to confirm, your address before you bid as well? You guys in the States might not think that's a big deal, but somebody like me here in Australia, I have an Aussie address and I also use Ship My Cards. So is it going to allow me to specify which of the two, or is it automatically going to default to my Aussie address, which means I'm going to pay, upwards of $60 USD more just for postage and all that kind of crap, which is a huge loss in my opinion. The other thing that's quite interesting on this as well is eBay currently have a pretty big issue when it comes to international transactions on their website. Part of the reason why that guy decided to decline my offer and cancel the card was because the postage quote ended up being wrong. And this has happened to me a few times too, where I'm looking at the sale on the page, I go to buy the card, and then when it goes to checkout, the postage is all of a sudden, $30, $40 higher, even though the same address is being used, which is also a big problem for eBay, because what's going to happen in instances where stuff like that does happen? How are they going to control it? Is it only going to be implemented for US to US transactions, or maybe US to Canada, so North America only? Who knows? But again, I'm rambling now, but this is all the stuff that I'm sort of thinking about when it comes to how's this thing actually going to work and how eBay is actually going to go ahead and police it, because this thing is all well and good, right? It's fantastic if it works, but if it still just allows the person, yes, they get charged automatically, but they can still cancel it immediately, what's the point? If eBay want to basically do this, they need to do it right and basically say, well, okay, we're going to charge you immediately and you can't cancel it. If you want to, cancel it within, the day of buying it or whatever it is, you need to actually have the card arrive to you first in order to facilitate that refund. And then you need to have, a genuine reason, which is something that I think they should be doing, but whether or not they actually go ahead and do it is, again, another question. So that's sort of it for today. Keep an eye out for a video in a few days' time. There was a pretty good event with Tyson Beck here in Sydney today. We basically went to a card store. Alex Pereira, the UFC light heavyweight champion, former middleweight champion, was there. He did a signing session for Tyson, signed a bunch of the new cards that are about to come out. He did a photo session with us, which was good fun. So you'll see some of that shortly. He signed a few things for me, which is also pretty cool. But part of the thing that the card store had, which is, Swap It, they had somebody there with their huge MJ collection, which is a stack of, game used memorabilia, a stack of Jordan jerseys that are signed and all this other cool stuff. And also some pretty big heavy hitter Michael Jordan exquisite cards, amongst others, that is absolutely insane. So if you've seen my Instagram story, you can probably still see it now as this video does release. You'll see some of these things. It's honestly insane. I'm going to show it in a video shortly, but that was pretty cool. Got some footage of that, so you'll see that in a few days' time. But yeah, I'm rambling. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.